So I see this question brought up on the COD Zombies subreddit a lot. Why do we attack the Keepers when they're the good people? So we'll start with Shadows of Evil. We start the game, and when we start doing the rituals with the summoning key, that is when the Keepers first start attacking us. The reason for that though is pretty straightforward. We're unknowingly helping the Shadow Man and the Apothecans, and with the Keepers, opposed to them, they're trying to stop us from, helping them unknowingly. Of course, we do end up doing it. We open up the Pack-a-Punch, the Riftstone, and then after that event, our characters, the Shadows of Evil characters, they are helped by the Keepers at this point to, go after the Shadow Man and contain him. So that one is pretty straightforward, they attack us because we're actually helping the bad guys at first, but then once we realize that was a mistake, they help us to try and rectify things. Now in Drak, I believe this one is simple as well. The Keeper that we kind of revive, the one we make corporal, or give his soul back or whatever, I believe originally he was meant to go grab the MPD, transport it back, and then that would be it, we'd put the summoning key in and we'd fire the rockets at the moon. But as we hear, over the speakers, and with what Richtofen says, the Keeper ends up getting corrupted by Groff. I believe it's because he smashes one of the soul canisters, and that's why it's missing it on its journey back. And then we see, it's darkened and it's corrupted, just hovering there. I'm not really sure what would have happened had Richtofen and the others left it. He does put the summoning key in it at the end, so maybe, the Keeper would prevent him from doing that or charging it or whatever. Or maybe the Keeper in it would kind of act like Samantha, maybe control zombies or send him to a different place or whatever. We don't know, we probably won't find out, but it's obvious, he's corrupted, and so we go to stop him, we do the boss fight. Setsubi no Shima's is a little bit more difficult. If you go into the cavern with the skull of Nan Sapui and you mesmerize the walls, you'll see 3 drawings on the wall, and it'll tell a little story. It does show us that Nan Sapui was worshipped on the island, and so eventually he gave his skull up to protect the island against evil forces. Now that monster could be Apothecan, or it could be the distant monster. He's out in the ocean and we see how big it is. Of course that thing could be Apothecan as well, but I believe it's one of those 2 things. But anyway, we end up on the island, the characters, and we open the crypt and we try to take the skull. So the Keepers come in and they're thinking, hey, this skull is protecting the island from this monster, this thing or whatever. We've got to stop these guys because, this is our masters. He's put it here for a reason. And so they attack the characters because it's like, hey, you shouldn't be touching this. But of course, we go and do it anyway. We take the skull. So the Keepers are good. Just to recap that, they attack us in Shadows of Evil because we're helping the bad guys, but then they help us to stop the bad guys. In Drak, it is good, but then it gets corrupted, and so we have to deal with it. In Setsubi no Shima, we mess with an artifact of theirs. It's something that would protect an island, so of course they're going to be pissed off and, and fight back at us. Anyway guys, I hope that clears it up a bit. What do you think about the Keepers and all that? I'll catch you guys later. Cheers.